Well, hello and welcome everybody. I'm AJ O'Neill. This is Beyond Code Live, and I might as well put a little more light on the subject. I forgot to turn the lights on because there's light outside, but let's go ahead and do that real quick. And for those of you that have already joined in, why don't you go ahead and tell me who you are, where you're from, and what it is that you would like to learn today. And if you have any questions, even if they're off topic, feel free to go ahead and ask them anytime. So what we're going to be doing today is going over credit card payments with PayPal, or at least I think that's where we're at. That's what I've got in my little to-dos here. Direct credit card payment is the next unchecked box. So it's been about a week since I dug into this because I had some other things that I've been working on, but now we're back on track, and so we'll just get going. Before we do, three things, I guess. One, let me turn down the sensitivity on the camera here a little bit. So there we go. That looks better. That was one. Two is the who to follow. So I'm doing these picks of who to follow. I'm trying to keep them mostly technical, but today I'm going to pick, the Dark Horse podcast. So, I'm a dangerous wrong thinker. I hope that you're a dangerous wrong thinker. We need more dangerous wrong thinkers. And Brett Weinstein is someone who, in another life, I don't know that we would have been friends, but I think that I would love to go out to dinner with him if I ever got the chance in the life that we are living now. And he runs a podcast which is called a Dark Horse Podcast, and it is a lot about evolution and science, and he has dangerous people that you are not allowed to have speak in public speak. So, for example, he has interviewed, I don't remember the guy's name, I just remember his accomplishment. He is the creator of the mRNA vaccine technology. That's someone who is not allowed to speak generally on the various platforms. He has lots of other scientists, and particularly because of all the political stuff going on right now, a lot of the people are scientists or medical professionals, but then they also talk about other things as well that are not related to today's political situation. But it certainly gives them lots of fodder and lots of good guests, and they bring on the people that you're not allowed to hear from. And so I just want to pick Brett Weinstein as a dangerous wrong thinker who is also very committed to, when he makes a mistake, saying that it was a mistake and correcting it. That out of the way. The last thing is a word from our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, Mountain Dew. Let's pop it top, my friends. It is time to open focus. Okay, cool. So now we will get into the actual what'd-you-ma-do. Payments. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to find out where the credit card payments are. Credit card stuff is in here somewhere. Payments, authorizations, and I believe this is for the subscriptions API only. But I do need to go, okay, we've got card type, blah, 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 blah. What card can be part of what? Is this the glossary? We might be down in the glossary section. I need to figure out where we are at. Common object definitions, yes. So we're down in the card section, or the glossary section. I want to get back up and see, card type. That's me. So this should be, I think that's card, but this should not be in the glossary section. But apparently it is in the glossary section. But I don't want to be in the glossary section. I want to be, let's go to the subscriptions. Let's go to the subscription sections. I think that's where we need to be. I thought that's where it was over here. Card object, no. Come on now. It should be under subscriptions, create subscription. And I think, is this where we can apply it? Card, maybe? This looks like it's the glossary section. I don't understand. I might have to go to Google's and start from there. All right, let's go up to create subscription. And authorization, no, that's not what we need. Plan ID, start time, quantity, shipping amount, subscriber, auto renewal, application context, plan. I know I saw a thing where you can have the credit card maybe activate subscription, capture authorized payment on subscription. That's probably it right there. So we need to create a subscription. Capture as authorized payment. Does this have card info? Capture type? No, that's not it. Okay. I'm not exactly sure where to find this. I might have to go back to the Googles to figure it out. And by Googles, I mean the DuckDuckGos and the Braves. That's good. Focus is just flowing through me. Okay, if this is the whole thing. Oh, by the way, I found out about this. I need to enable this on this computer. There's a way to get the scroll bar to stay so that it doesn't disappear before you can get to it. I don't remember exactly where it is, but I just found this the other day when I was doing my setup video for the M1 Max. I think it might be under General, it might be under Mouse, it might be under Accessibility. Who knows where it is? It doesn't appear to be under Mouse. Could be under General. Gosh, I'm going to have to go back and look. Maybe it's under Accessibility. Pointer control. I don't know. Let's try again. Scroll. Accessibility. Where would it be in Accessibility? Or maybe it was in Safari. If somebody knows, please let me know, because I don't remember where this is. Well, it's definitely not in there. I like to have differentiate without color on, though, just in general. I don't know. But I really do wish that the scroll bar would stick around. So let's see, all the way down here at the bottom. Oh, it's not even the bottom. The scroll bar extends past the bottom. What? How? Whatever. Okay. So let me just see what happens if I click on something all the way down here. What if I go all the way as far as I can to the bottom? There we go. This is all still part of payments, though, yeah? Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the extent of this is. Payment experience. Billing plans. Can we send a credit card in with a billing plan? Let's see. The use of the the use of the PayPal REST payments API to accept credit card payments is restricted. Instead, you can accept credit card payments with Braintree Direct, which I don't know that that's what I want. I'm gonna have to go to the Googles. Okay, PayPal, and let me know if this is too much. The letters there. Direct payments. Because I switch it back and forth between either only showing hotkey combinations and showing everything. Okay. Direct payment, recurring payments. All right, PayPal. Pass credit card. Or send PayPal API. Let me try this one. Set up advanced credit card and debit card payments. Okay, there's something for a vault. Standard card fields. All this stuff seems to be right around the right place. All right, let's see. About credit card processing. Occurs in 2 steps: real-time authorization and a capture. Hey, Zesty. Are we setting up a phishing website? Not today. Not today. We're setting up a website to receive credit card, or where somebody can pay with a credit card. I know. But hey, it turns out the same tools that you can use for a legitimate site can also be used for an illegitimate site. All you do is set up the store, collect the money, shut down the store, and then spend the money, right? Don't send any products. So if you're looking to set up a phishing site, I think this will help you with that too. Although for people that don't understand sarcasm and humor, don't set up phishing sites. I will report you to the police if it has anything to do with me, because I've had to do that before, because it has had to do with me. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I understand the basic flow. My question is, what API do I do? Submit a sale transaction. Yes, this is what I want. I want 1 step. But 1 step or 2 step doesn't matter much. I just want to know what's the API? What do I hit? Because as far as I can tell, this is all fluffy stuff. Okay, and then we go into these parameters. But what's the API? I don't really care. Show me where the API is. Oh, and I think this is the old one. Account verification, authorized, blah 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 blah. So this is not actually giving me enough information to know what I'm trying to do. This is developer guide, Payflow Pro, Payflow Gateway, Express Checkout, submit a credit card transaction. This, this doesn't. If this actually showed me how could I use this with curl? I don't have enough information. It's not giving me what the host is or how to submit the API key. It's all just www URL encoded query params. Quickly taking notes. Run paypal.exe. Done. You got it. Nailed it. So, Zesty Fungi, I don't think I've seen you in the channel before, but I am certainly happy to have you. It's nice to have your humor here with us. What brings you here today? You were Googling how to set up a phishing website, and this just came up as one of the top hits. By the way, if anybody else wants to, check out the PayPal documentation and help me along, would be much appreciated. I know that I have seen somewhere, as I've been perusing the documentation over the last couple of weeks, I saw somewhere where I could have sworn I did. Yeah, this right here, PayPal checkout, PayPal or credit card. And the people can put in their credit card, and when they click place order, it still processes through PayPal. So it's PayPal or PayPal. Yes, this is what I want. Advanced card payments. Yeah, let's take next step. Know before you code. All right, business account has to be evaluated and approved by PayPal. That's okay. Oh, that's me. Okay, I can go to my account and request processing. I will do this on the other screen, actually, just in case. And I got to remember to turn that off when I'm typing passwords. There we go. Now, my problem is I don't know what my password is. Wait, this says sandbox.paypal.com. So do I sign up with my fake account or with my real account? I'm going to try signing in with my real account. And let's see if that works. And if it doesn't, then I'll sign up with my fake account. Individual limit. Oh, they've got too many options here. Public corporation, private corporation, individual, sole proprietor, limited partnership, general partnership. And then, of course, it cuts off the text because, why would we have, okay, I want you to see this right here. This is such a bad idea. Why can it not show me, make the thing wider or make the text smaller or do what you need to do to show me this? Because what I'm guessing this says is limited liability partnership, limited liability company, but I don't actually know what it says. That's kind of frustrating. So maybe I can right click on this and go into inspect and then find out. I'm going to see if I can figure out what the text actually says. Yeah, and indeed, it does say limited liability company. So if we go back over here, limited liability company. Yes, so this would be an LLC. So that is the correct thing for me to select. All right. Oh, and then what have we got over here? Twitch streamer who can help set up illicit website, and my channel was #1. Yes, I know it. So I've heard people. So I'm on JavaScript Jabber, and we've had people on that talk about hacking Core Web Vitals and that sort of thing so that you can get better SEO and whatnot. And one of the recent guests, who's an expert in the space, was talking about how he gets so sad because he'll work with a company and their only metric is how do we get to #1? And he'll say, well, if you want to be #1, we can construe these keywords to get you #1 under this keyword set. But will that actually help your business? Do you really want to be #1 in Twitch streamer who can help set up illicit website? In my case, yes. Okay, PayPal allows anyone to set up payment process on their site. You do have to go through some minor approval process depending on what level you're at. But yeah, pretty much it's very, very easy. And this is why PayPal freezes accounts anytime something tickles their algorithm, and why people complain about PayPal payments. PayPal has almost no verification for your business or your setup or anything. So you can start transacting money on PayPal very quickly, but it's deceptive because as soon as you start to handle any sort of volume in PayPal, your account's going to get flagged, and then it's going to have to get reviewed, and all your money's going to be frozen for that time. And that will probably take about 30 days from what I've heard from other people. And so you do some big orders and the money's just floating for 30 days, and you don't have any guarantee that if you ship those orders that you're actually going to get the money. PayPal may decide to refund it. Now, most likely they're going to, figure out that you're legitimate and whatever. But yeah, and this is how people run PayPal scams is they set up a business, they do a bunch of business before anything's really been verified, they get the money, and if the account's not frozen, then they get the money, and then they just close everything out. It's all, and a lot of this stuff that requires a verification, you can fake it so easy. So sorry, I'm getting really slow through here. Password is password. No one will guess that one. Good. Yes. If you hover over it without moving the mouse, do you get a pop-up that shows the full name? Yeah, that's a good question. I already went through that, so I don't know. PayPal sounds like a nightmare. I'm going with Bitcoin only. Crypto to the moon. That's right, man. But here's the question. When you go to the moon, are you taking Doge or Shiba Inu? Because I'm on the Shiba Inu train now. Doge, I knew that was going to be a failure from the start. I knew it. So of course I invested in it because anything that's going to be a failure is going to ride the hype cycle. But after I made my millions, I went full Shibu. All right. Adios. Thank you. All right. So over here on this other page, I'm not going to go through this whole process right now because it's basically, I'd actually have to confirm my business, which I'm happy to do, but I don't want to do that right now on the stream. So I'm really just looking at, here we go. This is what I want to know. Client token is required to uniquely identify your buyer. I think this is what I want. I think this is the information. Let me pull this out into its own page here. Let's see. Following request generates the client token that you'll use after data client token when you integrate the JavaScript SDK and script 3. I don't know if I want to integrate the JavaScript SDK. Do I have to do that? Can we just make this not have me require more JavaScript on my page? But let me just see what this is about. Well, now it's asking for an access token. Let's see. This client-side and server-side integration using the following. Orders REST API. I should check that out. I've already done that before. Let's see. Generate token. Change access token to your token, right? And I'm not even sure what this is about. Exchange your API credentials for an access token. That's new. I was wondering about that because lots of the API says you can either use the API credentials or an access token, but up to this point, I haven't seen what it's talking about an access token. All right, and then as far as orders go here, I'm a little bit confused because I think it was in here that it said that you can do it for subscriptions, but you can't do it for orders or something like that. Do we see credit card in here? Header parameters, we don't need to worry about those. Intent would be to capture payer, purchase units, application context. I'm a little bit confused here because it said client side uses the following: orders REST API. Or whatever. Let me just read through this whole thing, or at least through a bit of this thing to understand it first. Generate the client side token, modify the code. Okay. Add JavaScript SDK in card form. I really don't want to add the JavaScript SDK if I can avoid it. But yeah, we're going to have a form with a bunch of card stuff here. Maybe they require it. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe we can't accept the payments directly. But I'm pretty sure that we can. Oh gosh, that's quite a bit of code. That seems that's enough that it should just be in the SDK. Okay, whatevs. Change your client ID, yada, yada, yada. And capture the order. Okay, so this is going to create an order. But this is showing how to do it with the PayPal SDK, and I just want to do it from the server side. Which it wouldn't surprise me if I was completely wrong and they don't actually allow you to capture the credit card on the server side because of all the things that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Let's see. Making API calls from your server. Payment methods. Okay, I might have been wrong. We may not be doing credit card stuff today because the credit card stuff may be exclusively through the PayPal API. Well, we might do credit card stuff anyway, but it may just not be through PayPal. I might just go ahead and get that credit card form set up and then show how to handle the credit card so that you don't have to worry about the dangers. Essentially, you just don't log the credit card out. So you have a special error handler. So we're doing this in Node, right? And in Express or Fastify or whatever. Oh, bless me. Sorry if that was rude. Actually, that's not entirely true. I'm not actually sorry. But if we had a credit card, if we accept the credit card, we just need a special error handler so that we make sure that the details of the request are well, we'll do it. We'll just do it. And then I'll come back around to this and then figure out what to do here. But here's the thing. If I sign into my dashboard, no, I'm not going to use that tab. This has got too many things open. But let's go to Sandbox. I think it's developer.paypal.com. Yeah, this is the one. And we want to go to Applications right there. That is where we want to be. And let me see. Can we bring this up all the way to the top? And we never stop. There we go. That's all the way at the top now. So I'm going to sign in, and it's going to take me to the sandbox. So it's okay that I'm signing in here because it's just going to take me to the sandbox anyway. All right. So we're in the sandbox here. We're in the default application. And if I go to, is it accounts? Sandbox accounts. So if we go to sandbox accounts, this is the personal account. So this account is the individual. It represents a client. So the business account represents the business. That makes sense. And the personal account represents the person that's purchasing at the business. So let me pull this out to the other window real quick just to make sure that there's no access tokens or anything. Not that it matters because it's all sandbox mode, but all the same. I'm clicking on it and nothing's happening. I hate that. Don't change the mouse cursor if you're not going to let me click. Let's see. Yeah, so this is actually really cool. Well, I'm just going to, so I can inspect here. Whoop. I'm just going to replace some stuff with stars real quick. There we go. So not that it matters because it's all sandbox account stuff, but I think this is really cool what PayPal does. So they give you a fake user that has a fake email address, and then they have a phone number, and they have a password, and they have an account ID and all this stuff. So you can cross-reference, you can build out multiple customers in the sandbox, and you can cross-reference them and stuff. And if we go into funding, they have a fake bank account, fake routing number, fake credit card number that will work for the processing. They don't give us the CVV, but it probably doesn't matter because it probably will accept anything. So we're gonna use that as our credit card number for this. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. That's going to get on my nerves, maybe. I'm going to click display only command keys for the moment. So let's go into public. Let's go under index.html, and let's go into this area where on our app we have under settings. Oh, whoops. That's because this is the real one, and we need to go to the fake one. Okay. All right. So we have our one time and our subscribe, and we want to have our checkout with PayPal or right here. So this is what we're looking at. So there's one time, there's subscribe. Oops, I did not mean to hide that. Let me click that again. Sometimes my finger drifts on the key that it shouldn't have drifted to. By the way, the others of you that are watching in, feel free to say hello. And, my name's AJ. What's your name? It's nice to know who's out there, especially if you're a returning user. I know sometimes the returning users don't say anything because, oh, it's just me again. But it's nice to know. It's nice to know who it is. So this is where we have our image. And I guess I should have, technically, I should have made this not no, I guess this works. Put the A, because you can make an image of type submit, right? But I haven't seen anybody do that in a long time. That's 90s. That's 90s stuff. But some of the 90s stuff we need to not forget because it works well. It was good. So I'm going to put here a horizontal rule. And I'm going to check something real quick. MVP CSS. I think, I'm trying to remember. Because I do like that style of having the horizontal rule and then having the or in the middle. But I don't know off the top of my head how to go about doing that. I'm assuming, actually I'm not assuming anything. I just don't know. So I guess I don't need a break there. We'll just put it in a horizontal rule, and then we'll say, what was that one that it showed over here? This was a really good picture. I got to screenshot this as a, yes, this is how it should work. Where'd it go? Maybe it was on the other place I was at before I went here. This is not the one that I actually want. Powered by PayPal. I want that button that said PayPal or. Let me see if in the subscription, does this have anything about credit card? I guess we could try putting the SDK on there as well and then just perform the same operations. But I think that was the only place where it mentioned credit card on this one, so I don't think I actually care about that. All right, I'm going to go back over here. I lost it. I don't know where it is. That's okay. So we're just going to go back here. I'm just going to put a horizontal line, and we're going to put a credit card form. And we only have so much credit card information. We've got the credit card number, the credit card type, which I don't think that should matter because that can be detected by the number. So I don't know why any payment system asks you to select what type of credit card you have. You know what type of credit card it is based on the first 4 numbers or something. If it matches a particular pattern, it's one of the card networks. There's no, oh, let's not accidentally send this number to Visa. It doesn't make sense. It would be immediately rejected. If it was a Discover number or whatever. Anyway, so we're going to have here another form. This is already a form. So we're going to have a form within a form. We'll just go with it. So we'll have input. Well, first of all inputs should be surrounded by, what's that, kids? Yes, a label. Labels go around inputs. It should be a very, very rare day that you ever use a for. Don't use a for. If you use a for, you're doing it wrong. I don't care that every tutorial on the internet shows using a for. That's because none of those people actually learned how HTML works. You don't do for. You put the label around the input. And then, yeah, what we'll have is credit card number. And we could put a BR here. That'd probably be fine. And then input type is going to be, well, we could just leave this as text probably. That's fine. And I don't think we need to put any pattern on it or any restrictions really. Just text is fine. And then for the next bit, and this is another thing. It turns out that the browser does a fairly decent, you don't have to create all these custom components. I see people, React is all the rage and everybody wants to create custom components for everything. The browser has inputs and they work. They do what they're supposed to do, So use them. Let's see. So we can put in here expiration. And then do we want a placeholder here? Sure. Placeholder equals example 422 4242 4242. Let me check on a card. Let me see. It's 16 digits, right, for a Visa? I think that's the way it looks. Placeholder equals. And then this. This is what we should do for this. Nothing. We should do nothing for this. We'll do that. And then we can do type is number. And then we can say min is 0 or is 1. Okay, max is month is up to 12. Step is 1. So, but then the problem is that this is text. Well, usually you want a leading digit. Let me see if on the HTML input we can enforce leading digits for numbers. I don't know if we can. But if we can, let's just do that. Otherwise, we could do text with a pattern. So input data list. We could also do a data list. That would work. ID of data list. Data list provides predefined values to suggest any values in the list. Not included. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Placeholders. Do we have anything in here about padding? Ooh. So I ordered a helm and it is being delivered right now. Whoops, thehelm.com. So UPS just pulled up and the truck is coming. So this little server thing, I actually used to have a company for doing a home server and that didn't go so well. And yeah. Oh, 2 boxes for me. Okay, I'm going to go get the door real quick. I don't think this requires signing, but it might. So give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. Well, here we are, and I smell an unboxing coming later today. Okay, sorry for the interruption. We'll get this out of the way, and we'll get this out of the way as well. Where did it go? Right there. Nope, that's not. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so let me just example. Let me just search and see if there's a padding option. This looks. No, I don't think there is. So I think I want to do an input type of text for this one. But I could do an input type of number for this one. So if we did this, for example, the minimum is going to be, say, 2021, and the maximum is going to be, say, 20, I don't know, 99. That's not realistic, but whatever. But because I want the leading 0, because somebody's going to type just like it is on the credit. Well, let's see how this looks first. Let's see how this looks. And we don't need that. Oh, technically, Okay, that did a doozy there. Okay, so that looks awkward, and indeed is awkward. And I don't know how to put a comment here, otherwise I would, because really I don't like the this is wrong. Prettier is wrong in this instance. This is not the correct way to format this. But anyway, what I want to do is have it so that it can have a leading 0, because I think that's what it looks like on my credit card. Let me go check. Yes, it does. Credit cards have a leading 0, so I would want the user to type a leading 0. But let's see if this is allowable as is. So I'm just going to go over here and hit refresh. And let's see if I type in 06. Holy moly, that's kind of scary. That's allowable, right? I don't like that it's showing my credit cards on the stream. Maybe I need to turn off that feature. Yeah, that's kind of dangerous. Hold on 1 second. Let me figure this out here. Okay, so thankfully, those are not actually, I don't know what those credit cards are. I will have to go check that out. Those, I think that they are actually the junk fake credit cards that are used for this thing, but I'm going to black out the screen for just a second. We'll be right back, folks. I won't leave you, I promise. Let me just click on something real quick. Okay, good. All right. Okay, good. So that's just junk fake cards. All right, we're all good there. Okay, but I would rather this not fill in. So give me, I'm going to bring the screen back up here. let me go grab my fake number for this one. Okay. And then what was the expiration? Really, all I wanted to see is it going to allow 06? Okay, so there's the fake number from the Sandbox account for PayPal. And the question is it going to allow this as an acceptable value? And the way that we find out is we open up the console, and unfortunately I did not give those a name. So I should have given it a name such as MM. But let me go ahead and do that here. So, well, I can't do that here, but we're going to do form. Inside of form is an input, and we're going to do type equals number, and we should get back 2 of these. Yep. So let's do the first one and see dot value. So we have 10. Let me see, can I put 06 in here? Interesting. That gave back 06 as a string, not as a number, which I guess is okay. All right, so it looks like it works. So I'm going to go with it. That's fine. It works for me. I don't like the way that ended up being, but whatever. I want these to be side by side, but I have to go edit CSS to do that, and I'm not worried about CSS right now, so we're going to leave that be. What's the other information that I need to have here? Probably nothing really. So I just need a pay now button sort of thing, and then we're good to go. So this is what we'll do. We'll give this input a name, and we'll call this y. Maybe we could call it CCYYYY. And then we could give this one a name. No, this one is MM. And then we could give this one a name, and we could call it YYYY. And then this one we could call CC digits, maybe. Let's call it that. And then I really don't care whether they do that or not. But we do have a maximum number. Oh my goodness. We got another. Hold on. There's another delivery came. 2 seconds. Sorry, folks. Oops, not that. There we go. I'll be right back. Thank you. You know what you never see? Amazon employees walking. So this was strange because or they're not Amazon employees. They're independent contractors like an Uber. But you never see them walking. They're always running. And this woman is walking. So I'm guessing that she's over it and she doesn't care that she's about to lose her job. Because Amazon runs on a psychological principle. There was an article that covers this, but basically people like to impress their employer for a certain amount of time and then eventually they'll burn out. And Amazon shipping runs on this principle of you just abuse people psychologically and then you fire them. And so you get the maximum performance out of people and then you can just flip through them as quickly as you want. And there's always someone else that needs the money because they do pay well, the hourly rate. But then their targets and stuff are literally not humanly possible. Much like those of Taco Bell, because I go up to Taco Bell and I look at the screen on the monitor and I have never once seen the cars be green. They're always red. Always. Every time, no matter what time of day I go. All the cars are always red. So I would say that is impossible targets because the cars are red if the person's been waiting in line too long and they're green if it's met the target. But these and sorry, now there's a glare in my eye. But yeah, I've never seen Amazon people walk before. They run to the door, they tap, they drop the package, they run back, they get in the truck just goes. And it doesn't ease out. It's just like, boom, pedal on the metal, gone. Maybe they started giving reasonable quotas. I don't know. People think they have time to breathe. Which that would be good, but it just seems unlikely. Anyway, so we got our credit card number. We just need to put a little, I guess, a submit button here. So this whole thing is a form, but why? Why is this a form? This makes sense to be a form. So is it just the upgrade bit that's a form? I don't remember because it's been a while. Status and usage tier. Status and usage tier. So this whole thing is a form, and I probably chose to let it continue to be a form for styling purposes. But anyway, we'll just put a button here, and even though it's ugly, we'll call it good so that we can move on to the stuff that's more interesting and more important. And then I'm going to have a buddy help with the styling because I hate styling. I hate it with a passion. Let's see. But did we have a BR here? There's no BR here. So I don't know why. I don't know why this is splitting, because I would prefer that it inline them. Maybe I can do something. Okay, I'm going to waste time on this just for a second, just to see. Can I go inspect this here? And then do, can we do style display inline? And then do the same thing with this one. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do that. There, that looks good. Good enough. So let's just go ahead and throw that in there and throw that in here. Okay, and then we need our Pay Now button. So we'll just create a button, label, whoops. What is that telling me? Nothing important. Old alarm. Goes off every Saturday at 4:22. Reminds me to shave, but I shaved last night. Got to get a good shave on for Sunday, you know. All right. We're going to have Pay Now. I guess technically this should be, because you can do input type equals button, or you can do button type equals submit. So we'll go with that one. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the value in here for the purposes of being able to test this right now, so they don't have to go copy and paste it over and over again. I'll just have to remember to take that out when we before this goes live. Otherwise, everybody will be paying with a fake credit card. It won't do them any good. So this value will be 10, and this value will be 2026. All right. And then, actually, we should split this up. I mean, it shouldn't matter. I think people get way too fancy with inputs. If the user puts in the right data, just accept it. And I see these inputs where they say, oh, you put in your phone number, but don't include any dashes. Why? Do you not know how to remove dashes? You know, or if I put in the +1, you really don't know how to handle a +1 in front of a phone number? Really, you need the user to be concerned with that? No. All these websites have too many different rules about how things should be punched in. Just let the user punch it in, you know? And I'm totally fine with if you've got something like this one is, when the user does maybe a key up or on focus or whatever, you reshift. And I want to show you how to do this because this is important to me. So I want to show you how to let the user type in crap and fix it. All right. So we will do that for this one right here. In fact, I'm just going to put it right below. We're going to do on key up equals, and then I'm just going to call this stuff.format window.event. And then we're just going to put a little script right here. And then this will go into the application later, but just to show how this can work. We're going to do var with a window.stuff equals format. And then we take an event. And then it's going to be, what is it? ev.target is going to be the input here. So this is going to be cc equals, and I'll put a $sign here because I like to, if I'm doing a DOM element, I like to put it with a dollar sign so you know it's not a JavaScript object, that it's a non-JavaScript object, a DOM object as it were. Then what are we going to do? We're going to read digits is cc.value, and then we're going to do better than that. We're going to say replace everything that is not, here we go, everything that is not a digit globally, we're going to replace with nothing. And then we're going to take the digits, and you could format this differently based on, you could look at the digits and you could say, I don't remember exactly what it is, but we could go look. How to tell which credit card prefixes. Let's just look at that. Let's just do what credit card numbers mean, the meaning of each digit. Let's just take a look here and see if this says something. Oh, okay, it is a little bit more complex. But anything that starts with 4 is Visa. Anything that starts with 5 is MasterCard. Anything that starts with 6.5 is Discover. 6.7 is Maestro. And 3.7 is American Express. So there you are. That's how you know very simply what a card is. So let's just say, and we know generally speaking, all of the American Express and all, whatever it is that we're going to support. So say we're going to support Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Then we know that 5.1 through 5.5, anything starting with 4 or anything starting with 3.7. So that's what we're going to be looking for. And I'm just going to have 3 different rules here. So this is type is, let's see, I'm just going to do this first. Types are, we'll say master, and we'll give it a regular expression. We'll say the master is, what was it, 5, and then it was 0 through, was it 0 through 5 or 1 through 5? What was it? MasterCard is 1 through 5. Okay. MasterCard is 1 through 5. So let's just call it MasterCard. Sure, why not? Call this one Visa. And is it spelled that way? No, MasterCard, the C is lowercase. Visa, oh, whoops, and this should be starts with. Visa is simply starts with 4. And let's say American Express is anything that starts with 3.7. And really what we ought to have is, say, formatting rules for these. I don't know what the formatting rules ought to be. So I'm just going to keep this simple-ish for now. I'll go look this up in a bit. But we'll have a format for this one. And we'll take in digits and we'll return digits.replace, and I forget exactly how to do it, But essentially, well, let's just do it the simplest way that doesn't require me having to look up regex syntax. So I'm using iTerm and Vim. So somebody asked what IDE is this? And my Vim setup is very, very simple. You can install almost exactly the same setup in about 30 seconds. That's it right there. Vim Essentials. webinstall.dev/vim-essentials. Okay. So we're going to take our digits and we're going to do splice, I guess, right? Is that what it is? I'm going to have to look at this. But we're just going to insert. Yeah, this is a good way to go about it. No, we'll do slice. We'll do slice. Well, no, we'll do splice. Dang it. What are we going to do? Is it slice or splice? We're going to do slice. That's what. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Okay. I don't know what to call this. Group. I'm going to call it group. Is this? If group.length is 4. So if group.length is less than 4, then we're just going to return group. And then we're going to say, well, let's see, this is all is an empty string. Then we'll do this. All plus equals these digits. And if it's less than 4, then we'll return. And then we'll do all plus equals a hyphen. And then we'll just repeat this pattern again. So we'll repeat this pattern a couple of times and we'll get the credit card figured out. So again, it's going to be 0 through 4. And whoops. And this time we could say if the length is less than, it would be 5 plus 4 is 9. So if it's less than 9, then we'll return all. Whoops, I need to do this one. And then we add that again, and then we do the same thing again. So we're just going to repeat this 4 times, and then I'm going to show you how somebody could type a credit card number. Oh, and this would actually need to be then, what is it? 4 to, I think it'd be 9, because I think it's non-inclusive. Gosh, this is one of those things where I always forget. So hello dot slice, whoops, not what I wanted to do. Oh no, not what I want to do. Stop. Go back, there we go. So we could do slice 0 to 4 should give me 4. And then 4 to, well, let's see. If we did 1 to 4, that'll give me 3. 1 to 5, give me LO. Yes. So that's how we do it. So this should, if we add, then we'll get up to, but not including. There we go. So that'll be that. And then here we would be adding, so that one again. So now we're up to 10 plus 4. So now I think we're at 14. Yeah. So we would be 14 here, and then it would be 8 to 12 here, and then it would be 12 to 16. We could put this in a loop, or we could use the regular expression that would work for this, but I'm just going to write it out by hand for simplicity for right now. And then actually we don't need to do anything after this one because that would just be annoying if we did. So then here we would just take the rest of the digits, add them together, and then return all. Because I really hate it when I'm, say I need to go type something at the beginning and then it's trying to restrain how many letters I can type in, and so then it starts chopping off things at the beginning or chopping off things at the end. Let the user type out what they need to type out. Just let them do it, So let's say we did that there. Then let me go back over here. Let's refresh. And then if I were to get rid of this entirely and I just type 1, 2, whoops, or let's just go with 1, 3, 1, 3. Oh no, that's not actually working the way that I was expecting. Maybe I made an error. I did make an error. I never told it what to do. Okay, so apparently this little bit of script needs to come beforehand. I didn't realize that. But we'll go ahead and do that. So script comes here. And then I guess I could just loop through the types and tell it to format it. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do that right now. We're just going to take this function called format. We're going to call it format visa. We're going to move it up here. Format visa. And we're just going to run with that for the moment. And I'm going to get rid of all of this. And we're just going to say ev.target, or I guess we could just do this way, cc.value equals format visa digits. We'll just do it that way for now, just as a proof of concept to kind of show this off. Show that this works. All right, so here we go. 4242, 4242. See? And then if I put a bunch of junk there, it doesn't matter. Oh, But, okay, this I didn't realize. This is bad about this. Okay, that's kind of annoying. So if you get it all correct, it works just fine. Oh, I can't delete that. That's kind of annoying. So I need to check for the backspace key. And then also, I wonder if there's a way to get cursor position in an input. Get cursor position of input. Yeah, because I definitely don't want to be screwing up the person's position. Kai Hendry recommended your channel. Yeah, I need to check out him. So here's the thing. I don't just necessarily reciprocally recommend people. He's dropped in on the channel. We've had some conversation, and I've enjoyed that conversation with him. But I haven't actually checked out his channel. So I want to do that now, though, because I want to see, do I like his channel? Do I want to recommend him? Because I don't know him personally or anything. We just kind of cross paths on the Twitter sphere and the Twitch sphere and whatnot. And I would like to return the favor, but I need to actually check him out and you know, so that I'm not just being reciprocal, but I am being authentic, I guess, is what to say. So I feel a little bit bad that I haven't checked out his content yet, because most likely he's somebody that I would recommend to other people as well. So thanks for hopping in. Glad to have you. Feel free to ask questions or, you know, just be yourself. Oh, and we got a ton of people tuning in right now. So hello everybody. I'm AJ, and I am I'm figuring out how to do this credit card stuff. And I guess most of you probably saw I just had a form field open, and I'm just trying to look for a stupid simple way to auto format the text input without any crazy libraries or I don't know. Okay, so what is this? Get caret position, initialize, document selection. I don't think we need to worry about selection start. Do we selection start? Example in this answer. Let me check out MDN selection start. But I don't think that would make sense. MDN selection start. Set selection range. Selection start property. Selection start. So, if selection is less than selection start, then both are treated as the value of selection end. Interesting. All right, so let's try this out real quick then. So I guess we want to figure out. Okay, that is a little bit tricksy. That's not quite the naive approach here. Because what we need to figure out. Now, maybe we can find a way to do a naive approach to this. So let's say we've got our target, that's event.target as our element, that's our credit card digits input. We get the value. Let's not do the replace yet. And let's get the position. So this would be cc.selectionStart. I think. Is that what we're saying it is? This is e.target.selectionStart. Okay. So that's the position. And then we would want to count the non-digit characters up to that position, I think is what we'd want to do. So num, this is not what I was planning on doing, by the way. I wanted to focus mostly on the server side, but you know, we're here, so be it. So let me think about this for a second. I'm just going to think about this. What I'm trying to do is say, so let me give an example of what this might look like. So the user may have typed in 4242424244 or whatever. You know, we're assuming that they could be anywhere in the process. They want to come back in and they want to put their selection here and they want to add a 4 here. And so then what should happen is this should get reformatted like this, and their cursor should stay here. So let's say they typed out this, their cursor was here. They go back and they realize they missed a digit. So they insert a 4 here, which puts their cursor there. And puts their cursor there. And so then we want to keep their cursor. I guess it'd be fine if their cursor was right here. And then let's say that they type again, they type the number 5, then what should happen is this should get bumped over here, and that should turn into that. So the little dot is where their cursor is. I guess I could do it this way. So they say their cursor's here, they move their cursor here. Then they type the number 4, then their cursor. Then we rewrite this so that their cursor is here. Wait, did I do that right? Sorry, I did something wrong here. So this is us, and this is them. Us, them, us, them. Okay, so this is what our input looks like. They were doing things normal. They come back, they come here, and they type. Oh no. So maybe I should relabel these. I don't know how I should label these. But anyway, so they did this. They put their cursor there, they typed there, and then we want to rewrite so that their cursor is still in the correct place where it ought to be, and then they are typing. The other problem is handling the arrow keys and stuff like that. So maybe this is a bad idea. I don't know. I'm feeling less confident about this this way of doing right now. But ideally, this is what it should look like. They have the cursor there. They go put their cursor here. That's fine. They then type, and then we shift their cursor over. And so now they're in the same spot logically, but there's the bit there. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. And so let's say that they just put the cursor here. So their selection start is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are in the 8th position is where their cursor is at, I think. Because they could be 0th position would be in front of this. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. 8th puts them in front of the 2. So that would be 8th position. Their position would be 8. And then their position here would become 9. And then we would shift their position to 10. Okay. So what do we do here then? Because there might be hyphens there or there might not be hyphens there. I think we count up the non-digits. I think that's what we do. Until we reach the cursor. So let's say 4 in is equal to 0 and less than position. Oops. N plus equals 1. Then we're going to go through and say if digits in doesn't match, let's just be clear, 0 through 9. Oh, and this would actually be, this would be an I here. And this would be a 0. Okay. So I think this would be okay. So because we also want to handle if they paste in something or whatever way it is that they get to it, we want to put their cursor back in the right position. Boom, 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 boom. So if it matches 0 through 9, if it doesn't match 0 through 9, then we're going to do n is plus equal to 1. And this should all be I, sorry. All right. So that n is going to tell us the difference between where they started at and where we started at, I guess. On key up. Then the one problem with this potentially is the backspace character. So I'm going to put in here to do handle backspace, because if they hit backspace, we don't want to reposition them up ahead one. We want them to be able to delete and move backwards. But I'm not, if we follow this model, I think we might be okay. So let's say we've got a position there, selection start. So really the position then needs to be minus equal n. And then we need to format this. As we format, we need to increment the position. So what we need back two things, really. So let me, let's see. Okay, so if we remove all of the non-digit characters, hyphens or slashes or whatever might be in there, then we would just need to subtract that number of, let's call this non-digits to be more specific. I guess I could have done this another way too. I don't want to worry about that right now. When I say I could have done this another way too, what I mean is I'm already doing this loop. I could just be building up that string right there. So, we could say, as we're going through, say cc.value, let's say we put that there, and then we just put digits as a string like this, then we could say if this, then digits plus equals cc value in. So that means that we did get a digit. And then we could continue. And then otherwise we're incrementing non-digits. And this would be the same thing, but then we don't have to do that rework there. And then really, we don't even have to deal with non-digits. We could just do position minus equal 1. That would be equivalent to what I had before. I don't know if that's as clear. I think it is, but you tell me. Is this clear? Then, yeah, we don't need to rework the position because we're reworking the position here already. But then as we change, so I want to put in digits and position, and then I want to get back the value and the position. And I don't know if it'll work this way. This seems a weird way to do it, but I'm just gonna see. This may completely fail. Hopefully it'll tell me. My editor will tell me if we can do it. Can we do this? Let's check this out. Let's say we have var a equals foo bar, right? And then what if I do a.foo a.bar equals foo and bar? Will this work? Can I destructure in this way? And then what is a equal to? Hey, it works. Check that out. Compound destructuring. Okay, so that works. That seems kind of silly, but it's kind of weird. But we'll go with it because I don't know why we'll go with it. I probably shouldn't do things like that. Don't tell my mother. Okay, so here's the question. So if pose.length is greater than or equal to all.length, then we want pose plus equals 1 here. And I think we want to do that in every case. And again, this is starting to look more and more as we should just be able to do a loop in here. So let me just think through this real quick to make sure that I'm doing this right. So if the position that we were at was, say, 7, and so far we only have 4 digits, and we're about to put, and it was in the 7th digit position, and we're about to put this in there, then we should bump it up to the 8th position because we want it to hop over the hyphen We don't want it to stay behind the hyphen, I think. So I think that's going to work. All right, let's try this out, and then maybe I'll get back to doing the server-side stuff. Okay, 4242. Whoops. Oh, no. That didn't work out very well at all. Probably because I didn't return the right thing. Let's see. Return all and position. There we go. Let's try that. Okay, so 4242. Nope, still doing undefined. All right, so maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe this is a little too ninja. Let's call this parts. And then, whoops. And then let's say cc.value equals parts 0. cc.selectionStart is parts sub 1. And let's just console.log debug parts. And maybe we should, I don't know. Maybe we should console.log, let's see. Value, digits. We should console.log some things here too. Console.log. Let's do debug. And then we should do here, right above, we should take in selection start and cc.value. Let's see what matches the expectations and what doesn't match the expectations. But I kind of ran through this already. We did it with the comments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a bug in the code, but we know what we expect. We know logically what we want to have happen. John Sodmez talks about debugging code and why you shouldn't just hit up the debugger and why you should, be able to think through your code and you should know what your code does before it runs. But then sometimes you hit situations like this and it's kind of helpful to just say, yeah, I don't know. But let's take a look. Debug parts. Nothing's coming back. It's probably because I forgot about this right here. Yes. Okay. So, quite interesting. We need to go return. So I have to change this return in all of the places where it exists. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I got all those returns. And then format visa is right here. So now, but why would parts not be defined at all is the question. So here we're setting it to an empty string. So this is another thing that I want to do. I want to do json.stringify, json.stringify. So we're going to slice digits and we're going to do plus equals on that. So this should give us back a string and we're just adding that string together and then we're returning it. So it should give us something. It shouldn't give us undefined. I'm quite confused about that. But here, let's see, where's pose? Let's see, look for debug. What I want to look for here is input, and let's do this, json.stringify, because then we should see the quotes around it, and then we should do the same thing down here. json.stringify, and then position, yeah, that should still be a number. I'd be very surprised if that isn't actually a number. Okay. Okay, what is going on here? Why is it an empty string? Oh, that's way too much. So I'm gonna have to go. So input is 4. What did I do wrong? Is something wrong in my loop here? Because between the input and this, we go down to an empty string. So if we match on 0 through 9, which we should, so we're saying, oh, whoops, this should be I. That's what's wrong, not in. We don't even have an in, do we? I think I got rid of the in a long time ago. Okay. That, you know why? I know why. Use strict. That's why. Because I'm doing this ad hoc in the JavaScript, and I didn't have use strict there, it's allowing undefined variables to be cast to undefined. This is another reason I shouldn't do it ad hoc, you know. All right, now what's going on? Okay, we need to step through this one by one because this is just making me look dumb because I'm being dumb, apparently. All right, so we started out with a 4, and then we ended up with a nothing. So if we start at position 0, and while less than, not greater than, I just typoed the greater than there. Okay, so while I is less than position, and position actually, here's a problem. This should actually be cc.value.length as well. Because we're iterating through the string, we're not iterating up to the position. I changed the logic of this entirely, and then I should have just rewritten it in a way, because at first I was thinking, oh, we're gonna iterate up to the position and we're gonna count this, but then I said, oh no, we're doing something different. So I restructured the purpose of this loop, but I updated little pieces of the loop rather than rewriting the loop, and so the little pieces that were left were wrong. That I forgot to change. Okay, so then we're going to increment by 1, and we're going to check to see, does this value, does it match? If it does, then move the digit up ahead. And for everything, yeah, so we're going to add to the card number, we're going to add whatever the value is if it matches a number. Otherwise, we're going to subtract the cursor position. Okay. This time, I really think I got it right, guys and gals, as it may be. 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. Oh. Interesting. That's very interesting. I don't know what to think about that. Maybe we need to also update selection end. Let's try this. Because I don't actually want to select anything. I just want the cursor to move in the way that the person probably believes that their cursor ought to move. So let's try this again. I just don't know what this behavior means. All right, so now we got something weird going on because the cursor's just jumping around at random. I don't get that at all. All right, we definitely need to ignore the arrow keys. We just need to ignore anything that's not, let's see. On key up key code. We just need to ignore anything that is not a digit. Let's see what people say. Event.keycode? Keyboard event.code. And this is probably from, yeah, this is, oh, whoa. Oh, wait, when was this posted? January? What? Google and Chrome, which was defined as address was occasionally now file spec. What? Seriously? As early as 2 years ago, browsers still don't know how to report the key? Oh my goodness. What in the world? This is why we can't have nice things. It's only 2021, people. We've only had the internet for a mere about 25 years. We can't expect to know what button a person pressed on the keyboard. It's way too advanced. We need at least another decade before we can solve a problem that complex. Oh no. What? Physical key on a keyboard. What? You've got to be kidding me. Is this real? We seriously don't know how to get what key a person pressed on the keyboard? Okay, what does key code mean? Okay, so I guess we should have a key press, but this is deprecated. So this says don't use this event, use this thing. Oh, that other thing's already deprecated. Oh man. I don't even know. I don't even know what to think about this. Apparently, this is a really hard problem. That just blows my mind. Okay, the caret position's not a hard problem. But wait. Okay, I see where there could be another potential problem here. Okay, so the position may not need to be subtracted because they might be ahead of this. So what we need is, we need a j is equal to position here, and then we need an if if I is less than j, then we can do this, I think. So if the current index is less than the position, then you subtract their position, right? Let me think about what this means. So if it's at, let's try to work this out for this scenario. Let's say that they put their cursor here. So as we walk through, I is going to get up to this character, and the position is, I guess, so this would be 0. So when the position is at this character, that's counted the same, so that would be at 9. But then we're subtracting 1 because it's 8, and when we get here, we don't want to subtract 1. So we only want to subtract 1 there. So if we say that j is the original position, if I, where we're moving to, is less than, I'm trying to figure out if it's supposed to be less than or less than the equal to. I'm not really sure. I got to think on this for a second. Is it supposed to be less than or equal to? So if the position is 0, let's say, okay, let's just start out with, whoops, let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's start out with saying the caret is at position 0 and we're at position 0. So the caret, let's say the caret is right here. So here's the caret. And then, I mean, this won't matter, but if I is less than j, I can't be less than j. So let's move this up a little bit. So let's say the caret is right here. That's what we care about. So 0, 1, 2, 3. It's in the 4th position. So caret is before the 4th character. It's in the 4th position. So if I is less than j, so I is marching up. If I is less than 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we encounter one of these, except that can't happen because it'd have to be at least 5. So let's put it over here, I suppose. So if we get up to this position, and I is now at, we're looking at this character, which would be the 5th character. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking at the 5th, well, the 6th character, but at index 5. And then the cursor is also at index 5. So as long as I is less than, I think it's less than or equal to is what this needs to be. So if we encounter a hyphen or a non-digit character where I is less than or equal to where the caret is, because the caret could be there, then we subtract other. Okay, I think that's correct. All right, let's go back. And let's see. Gosh, I didn't think this would be so hard. 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. Okay, so here our problem is that it's coming to, maybe we do need it to be less than, not less than or equal to. Let me try this again, because that seems to be off by 1 in that direction. So let's try this again. 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. Maybe we need to have it be even further. Now I'm doing stupid. I'm doing stupid because I'm not using my brain. I'm just experimenting. Okay, why is it that when it gets there, it subtracts? Let's think about this. So the problem is when it gets to the hyphen, what we want is we want the position to actually go ahead of that hyphen. But instead, we're taking the position back. So I think what's happening is that we're not doing the right thing when we're doing the format visa. But I don't know how that could be the case, because we're telling the position to jump up. So here's our problem. If position is greater than or equal to all dot length, then put the position up by 1. So what does that mean? Let's think about this for a second. So let's say position is 5 and it's been readjusted, and all dot length is now 4. So we want to put it ahead 1. But really, do we want to put it ahead 1 or do we want to put it ahead? Yeah, because if it was here, then we need to shift it. We need to shift it 1 over, but only if the cursor is behind the place. I'm a little bit confused. I'm pulling a stupid here. And it doesn't seem that it should be that hard. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to do let's do a console.log here. Debug new position. I'm just calling it NP for new position. Let's do all and position. I'm really confused because the position should bump up. Let's have the logger open right here. Okay, so we're input 0, position 0, great. So we put in 4. So now our cursor is at position 1, 2, 4, 2. All right, so that's interesting. So why was, because the position is 0 indexed and length is stupid off by 1 errors. So the index in the array starts at 0 of the position, but the length is 1. So the position is always 1 less than the number we actually want to check. I think that's where my problem's coming up right here, because what we should have seen is that here the position being at 3 makes sense, but the check is wrong, because the check should be all dot length minus 1. I think that's what the check should be. So here, all dot length, I could say minus, whoops. Oh, and also, I don't know why it says pose.length. Oops. That was not right. So that's just a typo on my part. And because I'm not doing this in my actual editor, I'm subject to stupid typos. So another problem with just doing things ad hoc, because my editor would have said, number doesn't have a length property. I have a question. Should I format data on the front end first before I send it to the back end? And then it gets cut off. So maybe. It just depends. I think it's nice from a user perspective to get more instant feedback. That's what I'm working on right now, is let's get the instant feedback working. Okay, so if position 0 is greater than or equal to, and this should be, I think this should be length minus 1. So let's try this out. And if I'm wrong, and I shouldn't be adding the 1, but let's try. Greater than or equal to. Length. But, go a little bit deeper with that question. Help me understand a little bit more. All right, let's try this again. 4242. And what have I got down here? My cursor, I think my cursor went to the right position. Let's try again. 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. Excellent. Now if I go too far, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. All right, now let's try if I go back in the middle and I put in 8. That wasn't right. That was right. That wasn't right. So that's a little confusing. That did the right thing. That did the right thing. That did the right thing. And that did the wrong thing. So what's going on there? I think it's the -1 is actually incorrect. Let's get rid of the -1. Again, I'm stupiding because I should just know math, you know. If all dot, well, maybe not, because here I'm saying just return as is. Well, let me try it and see. All right, so I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to say push, 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 push. That is the correct behavior. Now, the problem is that I can't use the keyboard at all. Around these parts here, which is kind of hilarious. So let me look at the key code events and all that. Let's spit that out. Oh, man. I'm just going to do console.log ev. We're just going to log out this event. And let's see if I can discern, because really, I don't care what happens. It's just if they're typing a number, which is the only thing that's valid, if they're typing a number, then it should follow the rule. If they're not typing a number, then I don't want it to manipulate the text. That's the thing. So let's figure out how can we tell if what they just typed was a number. And one of the ways to do this might be to take the character before their... Yeah, I think this is how we could do it. That we don't need to look at the event. What we need to do is we get their... Now, of course, this could fall, this could fail miserably if we're talking about countries where things are written from right to left instead of from left to right. Except, is that mirrored in the display? I don't know. But let's just go with this for now. Gosh, this is why programming's hard. Programming's hard not because the logic itself is hard. It's because people made bad decisions 25 years ago and we have to live with them today. But it's not just that. It's that people have been on committees and intentionally choosing not to fix the problems for 25 years. That's the problem. That rather than focusing on things that actually matter, they focus on goofy nonsense. And not to say that we couldn't have a little bit of goofy nonsense, but I just can't imagine if anybody on a standards body were actually a programmer. For example, Douglas Crockford, actually a programmer. If somebody were on a standards body that was actually a programmer and they just did normal things, like create an app for any business because all businesses accept payments and handle a credit card input. Or there's just so many things where it just makes me sad. Okay, suppose I have a CRUD. So CRUD, for those of you that don't know, means, well, the literal is C is create, read, update, destroy. RUD, read, UD, update, D, destroy. Should I check the data on the front end before sending it and check it again on the back end? It just depends on what your user experience is supposed to be. You definitely need to check it on the back end. But whether or not you should check it on the front end depends on whether or not there's any value in giving early feedback. So for me, I like the idea of JavaScript applications. As much as I don't like the excess use of JavaScript, I like the idea that you can interact with a form like what I'm doing here. You know, where it's just whoops. And I like that. Anyway. Okay, so this is the position, selection start. So this is what I'm going to do. So if the cursor position is here, then the thing they just typed is there. So let's say, no. Let's just say if 0 through 9, if not 0 through 9, test cc dot value position and this should be position -1 because we want to check the character that is behind the cursor. Check the character before the cursor. Supposedly the character that was just typed. Ostensibly. The better word there. Okay. Let's just move this up here. All right, so now I should be able to use the delete key and everything properly, I think, as well. So what? How could I check if the key was a backspace? But wait, in this case, the key behind the cursor should be that thing right there. So it should ignore the rule, right? Okay, I must be off by 1 again. So let's console.log here. Console.log. So this is value, which might be, say, 42, 42. So let me just put this in here for myself, 42, 42 hyphen. That's where I'm at. And the position would be right here. So that position would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's at position 5. So I want to find what's at position 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the character that was just typed was then the hyphen, ostensibly. So we should leave it alone, right? Because if the cursor's here, and that's not a number, so 0 through 9, test, this, all right, let's try it again. That's weird. So I must have created a syntax error here somewhere. There it is. Again, I'm learning nothing, but don't do what I'm doing. All right. Why? Why? All right, so let's see with the keyboard event. What have we got? Shift left. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so this is not picking up. What is key code? Char code. What does key code 16 mean? What does which mean? Oh no. All right, so let's go back over here. What is which? Non-standard. Okay, well, let's not use that one. How about key code? Deprecated. I just want to know if the person hit the arrow key or the backspace. Like, is this really that hard? JavaScript. How to know if backspace was pressed. This is insane. Okay, event.key. What does that say? Is this even right? Because for me, this is not correct. What I hit was the arrow key, and it's saying what I hit was shift, which I did kind of hit shift in that I have a keyboard mapping to where Command Shift J is left for me. And so all right, let's take a look at this. How do I detect if backspace is pressed? using key press when you should be using key down. Key down is raised for all including non-printable characters. Key press has been deprecated. Use key down instead. This is such a dumpster fire. Welcome to the internet. I'm about to find out. So this is problematic because I am hitting the arrow key. And let's see what happens. I will be very curious to see if this says that I'm hitting caps lock. So let me clear this out. Command K is clear out. Okay. So what is this saying that I hit? Now this is interesting. This is interesting because I actually hit the caps lock key. So code here is backspace. Key is backspace. But then if I do this, okay, didn't do anything yet, did it? Oh, it is doing stuff. So if I guess I guess all I care is, but I can't use the key press event. It wants me to use the key down event. I don't want to use the key down event. I want to use the key up event. Okay, so check this out. I'm in here. Let me move this up a little bit. All right. I'm going to hit command. It actually logs it. Okay. I'm going to hit shift. It actually logs it. Okay. So I'm going to hit command shift. Didn't log it. And then I'm going to hit, oh, actually it's H is left. Sorry, not J. Oh, whoops. What did I do? Was it J? Did I get that wrong? Or is it J? Hold on. I think it is J. But it's, sorry. I guess I closed that out by mistake. Where did my, no, I don't want to do this. There we go. All right, so let's clear that out. So, let's see if any of these events, meta, arrow left. Okay. Now let's see what happens if I hit. Let's see what happens if I hit J on the keyboard, which is H for me. Key J. Okay, look at this. Dot key. Okay, so I think we're there. It's dot key. Keyboard event dot key. Let's see if this is deprecated. Keyboard event dot key. Not deprecated. Huzzah! So maybe the problem was just Google search. Well, not Google in this case because I wasn't actually using Google, but maybe the problem is that there's so many bad answers out there that rely on the old outdated information that this wasn't popping up. I should go back and edit these answers. How do I detect if the backspace key was pressed? Did anybody suggest dot key? Oh, dot key. Yeah, that should work. Oh, but it's dot key up. And so this person's saying key code. This is person saying key code. This is saying key press has been, but use key down. Okay. Key up and event dot key. I'm just going to call this 2021 update. There we go. Key down lets you know when the key is pressed down, but not that it but this fires before any action takes place. Key up fires after the backspace event has happened, i.e. a character was deleted. Okay. And then event.key is widely supported and not deprecated. Now let me make sure that this is true. Let's go down to the browser support. Watch it be all red. Okay, is widely supported. Is both universally supported and not deprecated. There we go. Cool. So that's what we need to know. So then the little JavaScript snippet that I should put here for this poor soul is document.query. I don't know. Well, I don't even know what they were doing here. Do they have an input or something? Okay. I don't know. Let me just put this in here. Query selector. And I highly recommend anybody, when you don't get the right answer, I know it's definitely a good idea to not have a million tabs open. But if you don't get the right answer, don't close the tab immediately, because when you do get the right answer, because this benefits you. If you're only thinking selfishly, you're not thinking about the broader world, right? You're not thinking about what's better for your employer. You're not thinking about what's better for other people. If you're just selfishly thinking of what's better for you, and what's better for you happens to be better for all those other people as well, go back, because the things that you found in search results before, you're going to find in search results again. So edit the answers, add an answer. For me, I could go edit one of these answers. I could just edit this answer and, and maybe I should edit this answer. I think I probably should edit this answer, because key code is deprecated. So I'm gonna put my own answer here, and then I'm gonna edit some of the other answers, because I have superpowers on Stack Overflow. Back 10 years ago, I answered 2 questions well, and it gave me all these points, and those points give me superpowers. So I can go edit anything that I want, and as long as I don't abuse it, I get to keep it. If I abuse it, then I'll get flagged, and whatever. But anyway, let's say query selector.input add event listener key up function, and let's do the name equals foobar. Let me just do this. HTML form input name equals foobar. Label foo. Let's say like this, yeah. Add event listener, key up, ev, if console.log ev.key, ev.key, let's say backspace. It is capital. That seems kind of dumb to me. I separate it with underscores, separate it with hyphens, so shift hyphen left, arrow left, I guess would just be something without This doesn't make sense the way they named it. But whatever. We have to live in the world that exists, not the world that we want to live in, unfortunately. But it is, yeah, all caps backspace. That just seems so strange. All right, so we're going to update this. If console.log. It's a backspace. And then I'm just going to put some emojis here. No, I do not want to enable dictation. Wait. What? What did you do? What's going on? Why is my keyboard broken? There we go. So let's put, boom. I'll just emoji this up. And put this one here too. And then let's go ahead and make this a list, I guess. Might as well. I guess it might make sense more to do a table than a list. I don't know. Let's not do a list. Doesn't matter. Well, it does matter because it's all about presentation. Event.keycode is both difficult to interpret and deprecated. Numbers and all. And then let's go over the key code and put in the deprecation notice, keyboard event, key code. Yeah, all right. So that's all we need right there. Yep, copy. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to paste it and probably paste it in the other one as well, maybe with a slight modification. Okay, that looks ugly. That's just too ugly. Let's do this. And let's do, how about we do it this way? No nos. Bad. There we go. Good. Whoops. There we are. Does this look all right? Looks all right. It'd be better as a table, but I'm just going to leave it for now. Okay. Now let me go update the other answers here. Use my superpowers for good. All right. You can use... I mean, this should just be deleted. It's not worth fixing it because it's got a minus. This one is already marked as the correct answer, so we should make this correct. If it's we should use proper spacing on here, but whatever. Backspace, and let's use proper equals, key down. And then, yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Use update to use event.key, not deprecated. Universally supported, not deprecated. There we go. Oh, and then where else was key code in here? There we go. So let's update the correct answer to actually be correct. Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention over here. Oh, yeah, so key code 16 is shift, yeah. But we're not going to use key code. So is this correct now? Yeah. Okay, good. So you're using, let's key press we should be using key up or key down. Key press is evoked, key down is raised. Key down and key up. These are, well, whatever. We'll just keep it in his style. Non-printable characters, hyphenated. Try this. Let's go ahead and tag that as JavaScript. And let's change this to key up because that makes more sense. Let me cannot detect backspace being pressed. So if he wanted key press, he wants key up. Because key press is when it's completed, or key down if you want to know before the key press is complete. Okay, let's say key up and key down events. All right. Update to more closely match the poster's intent. Key up is more comparable to key press. There we go. Boom. So now let's go. I want to add one more note to this and then I'll move on. Okay. Just like key press. There we go. Cool. So copy that, and I'm going to go update the couple other places. All right. Is it possible to get the key code from on key up? Access key code property. Okay, I got to check the door real quick. I'll be right back. I think I'm just letting my wife in, if I understood that knock. Oh, so unfortunately, all of our candy was taken yesterday. So we had a thing out that said just take one, and somebody dumped everything. So now it's done. So sorry. It's, you know, it's the bad kids. The mischievous ones. Apparently trick-or-treating has started. We do not have our light on, but I don't think the old rules still apply. So back in the olden times, what you did was if you wanted people to trick-or-treat at your door, then one, you'd decorate, which we have not decorated. Although we do have, there was a community thing going around where people put a pumpkin on the door to let other people know that you'd been booed. So people just leave treats at the house, and you're supposed to then go leave treats at 2 other houses. Or so it's like Amish friendship bread, but for Halloween. And anyway, so in the olden days, you're supposed to turn on your light, your porch light, to let people know that you're accepting trick-or-treaters, or turn it off to let them know that you're not accepting trick-or-treaters. Also, it's not even dark yet. Is it even 6? It's not even 6 yet. What are people doing trick-or-treating? It's full daylight. No, children, no. This is wrong. You wait until the sun is setting. Am I wrong? Okay, so what was this one? You can pass event, look for property key code. Yeah, I think I will just fix this. You can pass event to functional look for property key. And let's just fix that. And key. And key. Good. So And there's no need to put this here. Beware of key code. Use event.key. Okay. And then let's just say example. All right. E.key on key up. This all looks good. Sweet. Updated for 2021 with universally supported key rather than deprecated event.keycode. Is that right? It's possible to get the key code from on key up. Okay, key code was the bad one, right? I'm getting confused here. And then code is the good one. Let's see. Or event.code. I would recommend that you see the documentation for event.key, and let's do this. Event.code. Key, and we'll do this one as code. Alrighty. And then let me just go double check that that was the right documentation and this doesn't say deprecated on it. Good, not deprecated. And support is pretty decent. Well, about as good as you can get. Who cares about Internet Explorer? I mean, we're not talking about Edge. We're not talking about Microsoft. We're talking about 1999. We don't need 1999 in our lives anymore. You know what I'm saying? Okay. J. All right. That looks good. There we go. Sweet. All right, now I need to put this on my blog for myself so that I remember how to do it. So I'm actually going to take this, edit it, copy it, and just bring it over to, I'm just going to make an entry for it. I'll do this later along with my other 6 million drafts, but at least I'll have a draft of it so I have a personal place where I reference this. Okay, what are we calling this thing? This is how to know what key was pressed in JavaScript. The updated for 2021 event.key and event.code. There we go. I like to have the TLDR in the description for my post. Okay, cool. So that was a big long tangent, whatever, but it's useful and it's going to help me in the future so that because inevitably I'm going to come back to this. So again, I say it is worth your time. It is worth your employer's time. It is worth everybody's time that when you find out the answer to something, go back on Stack Overflow. If you have superpowers and you can edit the selected correct post, if the selected correct post is wrong, make it right and don't be afraid about it, because the original person's never going to go back and mark it as wrong and make something else correct. So if you have superpowers on Stack Overflow, go take the one that's marked as correct and just make it correct, and then potentially put your own thing there as well, just in case somebody says, hey, I don't like that you changed this answer to be correct because it's no longer in line with the author's original intent or something like that. So Kai says, hello, good Sunday morning. And I say hello to you, Kai. So somebody was mentioning earlier that they came here off of your recommendation. So thank you for recommending me and tweeting me out. I really appreciate that. I need to go check out your content and see if because I would like to reciprocate, but I also want to make sure that I don't just reciprocate blindly. I don't have any reason to doubt the quality of your content but I just want to make sure that it's something that I actually do want to recommend. So I will have to go check out your channel and take a look at some things so that I can say with confidence, yes, I think Kai is great too, and you should also follow him too, because I do a who to follow type thing at the beginning of each session. And do a little shout out to someone or that I think is worthy of following. Okay, so yeah, I got that out of the way. Now, gosh, that was so gosh darn difficult, So this is not correct. What we want to do is test ev dot, it was key, right? And that's the virtual key as opposed to code, which is the physical key. So if 0 through 9 is not, whoops, that's not the right not, dot test ev dot key, then we return. I think that this is going to do it. Okay. Now let's try it out. Gosh. Yay! Arrow keys work now. Huzzah! And let's make sure numbers didn't break. Yay! This is wonderful. I can use backspace again. Now I have... Okay, so that was a lot of work. I'm going to put this in a gist and post it real quick. Let me extract this out, because this turned out to be more than I thought it was going to be by far. I did not think it would be this difficult, because I just get frustrated with how everything's crap. And y'all know that if you've been on the channel more than once. But gosh, sometimes simple things are really hard. So, let's copy this over into the editor. I might do this after the session, though. I think I'm just going to move on, but this is what I'll do. I will, and we'd still have to go do the thing for the other ones too, because right now we've only formatted the Visa cards, and I could probably, I don't know that I even want to make that a loop, because I think making it a loop is going to be more complicated. Yeah, it's going to shorten it up, but then then I have to keep track of more counters, and I don't know. But let's just take this for now, and then let's move on to the server stuff, which is what I wanted to do. So let's see. Let's go to Bliss. I'm just gonna make this one right now. How to format a credit card input. JavaScript. A little more difficult than I thought. I don't know what it actually should be here. And this is draft status, but I'm just going to go ahead and post it, I think. To do. This is just a draft. But I'm just going to put this in a gist is what I'm going to do. Because then I don't have to crud up my blog with a half-baked thing. I don't like doing this in gists, but here we are. How to format a Visa credit card input. So here we go. For anybody else that wants this, feel free to fork. What do you mean might mess up form completion? You mean auto completion? Oops. Where do we go? I kind of want to do this for Amex as well. I think MasterCard is the same as Visa. I don't know if I have a MasterCard on hand. I should. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a MasterCard. Okay. I've got an Amex and a MasterCard. And the MasterCard is actually on my phone because Apple Wallet. My Apple Card is a MasterCard. Let's see if I can get it to show me the number. Four. Yeah. MasterCard's the same as Visa as far as it's formatted. And then American Express. See how American Express is formatted. I think it's definitely a different format. It's 465. 465. So I am going to copy this real quick for American Express. All right, let me... okay, so we'll do this. We got parts. We do if. This is what we'll do. Var re Visa. There we go. For RE Master, MasterCard, var RE Amex. Starts with 37. So that's most credit cards right there. And then I could go back and do the others later. But then I can say if revisa.test digits or remastercard.test digits then parts equals this, else if re amex dot test digits, then we'll do format amex, and then else we'll just return because we don't need to do anything. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think that this should create a problem with that. I mean, you could check it out and let me know what you find. Uh-oh. Why did this... Oh, it didn't like that. What did I do wrong? This and that. Okay. Let this be a lesson to us all. Don't write your JavaScript in HTML, folks. I thought this was going to be a tiny little ditty. I did not realize that, but you should never think it's going to be a tiny little ditty. It's always going to be 10 times more complex than you think. Okay, so this one is, format is 4242, 4242, 4242, 4242. This one, the format is 37, what is it, XX, and then 654321, 54321, right? Right, okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, that's 5. Yes. Okay. So here we are. So then here, what we should do, this 4 is the same, but this one, instead of going from 4 to 8, is going to go from 4 to 10, which means that this, instead of 9, is going to be 11. And then this one is going to go from, I guess we don't need this one because it's just until the end. So we just skip ahead to this because this only has 2 hyphens in it. It does not have 3 hyphens. So we get rid of that section. Yeah, I think that works. Let's check it out and see. Whoops. So all it's doing here is just, if you put in the card number, it's putting in the hyphens. That's all it's doing. So I don't think that's going to break anything for anybody. It's not intense validation by any means. It's just meant to give you mostly the right thing. So I could update that function for the other couple of cards, and I probably could look at it and make it generic so that you just tell it what the digits are. So say it's 4444, it's 465, it's whatever. I probably could make a generic function for that, and maybe I will, but I'm not doing it right now. But I will go update the gist right now. And then I guess I could just call this format card. Let's just do that to remove one layer of indirection. Format card digits. We'll just do that for now. Oh, and something went wrong. What did I do? Oh. This needs to be the name, function, format card digits. There we go. Boom. Let me copy this out. Oh, I wanted to grab that line too. Right to there. There we go. cool. So there we go. This will work now for most credit cards. And it won't break for the other ones that aren't supported. It just won't automatically format them. Okay, cool. So that is updated now. All right, now on to the server stuff. So we get a nice big Pay Now button. The card is formatted correctly. Oh my heavens. And I am going to take a look at my other cards just real quick. I think everything's a Visa in here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I have a Discover. And Discover is also the for formatting. So I think it might be safe, actually, just to say by default, format Visa. Oh, and I should put in the comment here, where was that list of issuer identification numbers? There we go. Let's put in that list right here. And I should put that also in the gist right here. There we go. Okay. So what I could do instead is basically just say, if it's American Express, format it the American Express way. Otherwise, format it the Visa way. And this is not going to break anything. But then we also, of course, could, if we had a little insignia of what type of card it was, we could use these to change that insignia. But I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do, whoops, I just changed that there, but I didn't change it in the main code. I'm screwing everything up. This is not the place to put this. Hashtag doing it wrong. There we go. All right. Now let's get rid of all these console.debugs that have to do with the credit card. Console.log. Console. Yep. All right, cool. We got rid of all of them. Great. All right, so now we need to listen on the Pay Now submit. We probably should give this a name. Maybe we could do input type equals button. No, I don't want to do that. But type equals submit, Pay Now. This is fine. We could give it a name. It doesn't matter because it's just a submit. Sometimes you want a name for submit if you have a proceed or cancel and you want to find out, did they click proceed or did they click cancel? You'll get the name of the button in the event. But in this case, it's just proceed. There is no cancel. So we're good there. So yeah, let's go wherever I was handling the... Oh, I didn't even have to handle the PayPal stuff, did I? All right, so I think what I ought to do at this point, I think what would be really, really smart to do is if I was just going to take all of this stuff out and actually include the script at this point. So source equals format, pay with credit card.js. That's what we're going to call it. I'm going with it. Don't stop me now. Okay, so pay with credit card.js. All right, and I don't think we lost anything in the translation there. Let me just do .to.js to make sure. Whoops. There's no difference between these two. diffy. Do I have my... Oh, I don't have my alias set up here. Or is that because I'm not in... Oh, I don't. Okay, let me set up my alias real quick. Config fish, config.fish. And oh, a lot of my all my aliases are missing. Let me go fix that. .fish. Oops, config fish, config.fish. Oops. I'm just going to do some copy and paste, I guess. There we go. Just going to grab all my aliases and bring them right on over. There we go. And I'm going to exit fish and enter fish again. And then now I've got my diffy alias, which does a side-by-side. So pay with credit card .star. And the only thing that we have in the one that we don't have in the other is all the debugs. So let me make sure that the debugs are taken out of the real one. Okay, so console.log. Okay. That was a doozy. And then let's go ahead and export the, well, these are all exported to the global right now. Which is okay, I guess. What do I want to do here? Var cc. I am going to change this function. And I am going to have to go out for Halloween soon. Because I told one of the neighbors that we would, when it got maybe around, we still got a little bit of time before the sun goes down. Yes?
Are you going to go trick-or-treating with Annie?
Yes. It's only 6:20.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So don't need that there anymore. And then let's just do cc.format card digits will be this function. And then we'll do a submit. Let's see. We'll have a, I don't know. Very simple. I'll just call it submit. Or .pay. I don't know. And we'll work out the details later, but I'm going to go into the index here and change that on key up from format card digits to cc.format card digits. So this should export cc right here. And we'll play around with it this way, and then we'll see how things go. Okay, so now that I've actually got my pay function, I'm going to grab that stuff. So ev.target, we're gonna do var cc equals ev.target and var digits equals cc.format digits cc.value, and then we have, I'm going to call it expm for, oh, this is, the target here is going to be the form. So what I actually need to do is, I think that's going to be the form. Yeah. So let me go to the form here, and this is going to be on submit equals cc.pay window.event. There we go. All right, so this should be the form, which means that the digits should be payForm.querySelector, and I already forgot what we called that thing, but I think it was name is digits, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think we had expiration month, so this would be .value, and then we would want to format this. So we'd want to do cc.format, what did I call it? Card digits. There we go. And then this one would be name equals mm, if I'm not mistaken, .value. And this one would be name equals YYY. So I think that's how we set it up. Let me go back and double check. So input I called it CC digits, CCMM, and CCYYY. That makes sense. Tomato, potato. Oops. All right. And I should probably take, I forget what it's called, CSV, or what do they call the thing on the back that's the verification code? Some of them say what it's called on there. Others do not. Let me see what Apple calls it. What does Apple call it on the Apple Card? Security code. Good enough for me. Or just call it code for short. That'll be good enough. And then with the code, correct me if I'm wrong, but, whoops. Oh, I probably just want to put this in line as well, actually. If I can. I don't know if that'll work. I'll try it out. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to do the nasty and put style equals inline on these labels and on this input. Well, it's already on that input, but we're going to clean this up quite a bit. Okay, so there, display inline name, CC code. All right, so I believe that this has to be a number. I don't think that it can ever be a letter, and I think that comes from the touch-tone system where credit cards used to be by phone, and so it would have to be a number and not a letter because you can't transmit letters by phone, at least not in any sane way. And then here, let's see, the value is, let's say it's 777, what a lucky number. So the minimum value would be 1. The maximum value, I want to say American Express, everybody does 3, except American Express does 4. Am I right? Let's see, American Express, yeah, American Express does 4. I don't think any of the credit cards have a code that's 5 long, but let's just give it an extra to be sure. And yeah, so that should work out there. Cool. And then we'll give this, yeah, we gave it a value of 777. so that when we refresh the page, we can deal with it that way. All right, now I'm going to show you the server-side part, which is really, really, really simple. Maybe I should have started with that and then done the other part later. But let's say I still haven't figured out how to handle this in PayPal correctly. Do I want to go in that one? No, I want to go into app.js. Sorry. So I still didn't find the right documentation for this, but let's say that I did. So this is the kind of thing that I would want to do, is I would want to handle the credit card. Well, I'm just gonna make a separate route to show you how this is done, and then I'll figure out how to apply it specifically later. But let's say that this is, we're gonna call it CC Direct is our route. Okay. This is where we get into, people get scared about PCI compliance and stuff. So what you need to do is a couple of things. First of all, you need to have a handler for errors on that same route. And so error, rec, res, next. Okay. Handle errors locally. This is what you want to do. And you do not want to call next. So let's just put underscore there for that, right? And essentially, you just want to make sure that you don't log out any of the credit card information. So you could just respond with, say, res.end, or say res.json. This is status is 500. If any error happens here, just call it a 500 error. Well, we could basically do our regular error handling here. If error dot whatever. The point is, if it's an unexpected error, or if there somehow could be information that's related to the credit card in the error, we just want this as a fail-safe. And so I'm just gonna put that there as a fail-safe for now. Processing the credit card. We'd want to be more specific, but let's just say here we've got a local error handler. There is no possible way in this error handler for any of the credit card information, user information, to escape. So that's really all that we care about. We just want to make sure that whatever the error is, we're very, very strict and contained here. And we might give out, here we'd want to enumerate only known errors can go back to the user, errors that we know where they come from and what they mean, and that they don't have any credit card information in them. Only those can go to the user or be logged. Because in this case, what's different from our normal error handler, and our normal error handler, if there's an unknown error, we want to log it to the server. Here, we don't want to log unknown errors. We only want to log known errors unless we have a specific reproducible case, because we don't want to accidentally be logging any details. So, for example, if we make a request to PayPal and the request has the credit card number in it, and something goes wrong with that request, we don't want to log out that request to the server. So here, never log out raw errors, especially those with request objects. That's kind of the rule here. So once you've got that taken care of, now that's our fail safe, and we could to do enumerate errors right there with and safe properties. So we'd want to very explicitly enumerate that. Here we can do rec.body, and we're going to get, say we're going to get digits. So let's do this. Say card is equal to, and I'm actually going to have to go before we finish now, because I've got trick-or-treating to do, and I gotta connect with the neighbor because we're gonna do cool stuff. Okay, so let's say that I did this, and on the front end I didn't actually make the request yet, but for the sake of, let's say that I'm just going to make the request here at this route, and I'm going to post the credit card information. So the first thing that I want to do is just get all of this information off of the request object, and then I want to scrub the request object. So rec.body.digits equals, and then we're just going to put in here, let's say rec.body.digits. Let's say we put in the first thing there, and then so the first character, let's say we have the first character there, and then let's say that we had the very last character. So a better way to do this might be slice 0 to 1. And then we could also do star, 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 star. And then I think we could just do slice -1, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check on that. So if I do hello.slice -1, yeah, that's what I can do then. So this is ugly. Let's say, let's say var first equals this. And we could do some sort of formatting so we get the things in the right place, the stars, the asterisks in the right place, the hyphens in the right place. And then let's say we have here last, and so we do var last equals like this. Okay, and then code, we absolutely just want to completely scrub. So we could do rec.body.code.split on nothingness, and then .join on oh, sorry, that's not what I'm going to do. We're going to split on nothing, and then we want to call map. This is what we do. That's how to do it. So rec.body.code equals, if we wanted to keep the right number of stars, for example, right number of asterisks. So actually, yeah, we do just like this, let's say. So we could have something here to format these, but we can just make sure that we've scrubbed the body of these things essentially. I'm going to call this function scrub. So let me just, I'm going to throw this up here for the moment. And then we'll do the same thing with the month. And with the year. So now we don't have any fear of this rec.body being logged anywhere and having values that we care about. So this is just defensive coding. We're just protecting ourselves from leaking out these digits, this code, this month. And what I could do, actually, this would be interesting. Let's say if ch, whoops, so if this is equal to ch, we can return that, otherwise we return asterisks. And so then we could do the same thing with digits. We could do card.digits.map, .split .map and scrub. And then we might want to say that we're going to slice from 1 to -1. Is that a valid range? Let me try that out. So hello slice from 1 to -1. Yeah, that's what we want to do. So then we could put first and last, and we could just do that to help us out in identifying the card or the customer or something like that if that goes wrong. So basically now those values are scrubbed. And then we go do whatever it is that we actually need to do with that card information. And we just be careful never to log the card object. So never log this object in errors or otherwise. And then I got a to-do. What's the PayPal API? We still didn't figure that out yet. And then I'm just going to throw new error to-do not implemented. So I'm sorry that that's kind of lame place to stop, but I spent all my time figuring out how to format the card and make it so the user can type at the same time, which again, this is just, it's so frustrating to me. So I just want that to work. But it works. And going back and forth works. And hitting delete works. That was a little bit odd there. I think that was right. Let me try this again. Okay, so yeah, that was correct. Okay, so everything's correct about that. Huh, interesting. I wonder why that's not formatting, because it seems that it should. I'm just going to double check that real quick, and then it's time for me to go. So thanks for tuning in. Those of you that tuned in, if you didn't tune in, raise your hand if you're absent. And if you liked it, if you found something valuable about this, if it was useful for you at all, go ahead and like it. Share it with a friend, invite them to the channel. I will throw up the Discord for anybody that wants to join in on the Discord, because we have a Discord now. So let me go ahead and pop that in here. Discord. Let's see. Anything else? Subscribe, click all the things. You know the drill. I'm just going to make this one little minor tweak, and then I will say adios. And the minor tweak is if test Amex, format Amex, that makes perfect sense. Oh, did I just not refresh the page? So it should be, if I just type 5555555, Uh-oh, now it's completely broken. Why is it completely broken? CC is not defined. What do you mean CC is not defined? Of course it's defined. Let me go var CC right here. That is defined if ever a CC was defined. Window.cc equals CC. Public. Pay with credit card.js. Pay with credit card.js, right? cc.format card digits. Seems legit to me. Didn't like it. Pay with credit card JS. Aborted. Let's try that one more time. 404 not found. Pay with credit card.js. Okay. Oh, did I put it in the wrong place? Yes, I did. Pay with credit card JS should be in public. There we go. Now, let's refresh. And then if I just put in here 5555555555555, yep, good. And then if I do 37, and then that might be, that's the magic number. And then if I just change this to 38, then it gets reformatted. Cool. All right. Well, that's working. I will update this one more time in the gist for those of you that want to have it in the gist. And we'll make it better over time, and then I'll get it into my blog or something and make it nicer in general. Okay. With all that, again, thumbs up if you got them, thumbs down if you don't, and I'll catch you later. Adios.